The one skill you are always practicing is marketing. Hey guys, Aimon here, and this is where I explore my creative philosophy. Today we're talking about the one skill that you are always practicing, and it's marketing. Now, a lot of people traditionally would think of marketing as something that you do for a business to get them customers. And while that is what marketing is, what I'm talking about today is marketing yourself. Because things have changed, okay? And there's a lot of different types of ways that you are marketing yourself. And you're doing it right now. The way you're sitting or standing or consuming this content, you are marketing yourself. So today we're gonna go over a lot of the ways that you are marketing yourself and hopefully give you a bit better of an understanding of just how important some of your daily actions are so that you can truly grasp this concept and hopefully market yourself a little better to get some better results in life, in your professional life, in your physical life, in your emotional life, with your friendships, with your businesses, with your hobbies, all of it. So let's get into it. So the first main way that you are marketing yourself is physically. Now, if you think about any social engagement that you have, how are you actually standing? How is your body and expressions and things that you're doing with your hands? You know, like, look at me, I'm doing it right now, okay? But for example, if you're sitting like this, and you're hunched over, and you're talking really quietly, that's going to give a particular perception to another person, okay? And if they perceive you in a particular way because of that, and you can change those actions for a better outcome, why wouldn't you do that, right? So obviously awareness is a huge part of this, but if you are not aware of your physical self and how you're presented and how other people are perceiving that, then that's a huge problem. And paying attention to your physicality is going to bring you huge amounts of awareness, which is a great mindfulness hack in itself, really. But for example, what is your posture doing? Can you improve your posture? Yes, I know I sound like a strict dad being like, oh, stand up straight, young man. Are you using hand gestures? Are you using dynamics in your voice? Will you tell a story? Are people actually paying attention to you? Because if they're not, chances are there's a lot of different physical things that you're doing that are making people not want to pay attention to you. And that changes how people perceive you. And the thing is, it's not necessarily all surface level. You know, it's actually subconscious how people perceive you and engage with you and see you on a particular social hierarchy is how you present yourself. You know, like, yeah, I go to the gym and whatnot, but I wouldn't say that I'm the biggest guy, right? But if I stand tall and actually, you know, present myself like this, use facial expressions, smile while I'm talking, some of these things, I can tell that just by being in a social interaction with people, they perceive me to be confident. And that's so funny when people say, Aimon, you're a confident guy, because historically I wasn't, right? When I was a kid, I was quite introverted and, you know, I learned all these behaviors just by seeing how other people reacted when I behaved in different ways, right? And I guess one way of looking at it is manipulation. But you could say that about any kind of marketing, couldn't you? And it depends what outcome you're trying to get. Because if you are trying to swindle somebody out of some money or something like that, then that is manipulation and that is negative. Or, I mean, you know, it's a matter of perception. But if you are just trying to get other people to like you a little bit more so that you can get a little bit further in life, get a little bit better results, and that's going to cause no harm to anybody, then I wouldn't call that manipulation, right? That's just self-development, isn't it? You're always marketing yourself, and the first one is physically. How do you actually hold yourself? How do you actually communicate with people using hand gestures, right? And it might feel weird to kind of push some of these behaviors on yourself. But after you've practiced a little bit, maybe even in the mirror, who knows, right? Then I guarantee you'll get better results because you are marketing yourself physically. And just to build on that, you know, again, people perceive you to be a friend or an enemy. So going to the gym, keeping fit, doing all these kinds of things are also a version of marketing because you are working on your health and fitness. So people perceive you to be healthier and therefore, I don't know, maybe want to mate with you over somebody else more. I don't know. You do the math, okay? So the second one is professional. Now this is one that you're probably already doing, okay? let's say you've made a resume and you put a photo of yourself on that resume, and you put all the good things that you've done on that resume. And in that photo, you're wearing a tuxedo or whatever it is, right? And in that resume, you've also left out some of the really bad jobs that you've had and some of the jobs that maybe don't relate to the job that you're applying for, right? So that's marketing. Again, you're changing somebody's perception of you through what you are or aren't showing them. And unfortunately, professional marketing nowadays bleeds into so many things. So I suppose it's different whether you're going for a traditional job or if you have a business, but either way, it's extremely important how you present yourself physically and digitally and professionally, right? So how you present yourself professionally, as I said, it bleeds out into digital life now. All employees, if they're actually looking at hiring you, or a client, if they're actually giving you thousands of dollars for something that you're an expert in, they're gonna be checking out what you're doing before they invest that time, before they invest that money, before they give you something of value, because they want value first. So they want to make sure they're making the right decision. So they're going to check out what you're doing. So if you've got a bunch of photos on your Instagram where you're just drunk on the weekend doing crazy, sloppy stuff, unless you're going for a bartender job, right? Then that's probably not going to help your professional life. You know what I mean? And that one's pretty obvious, but maybe one that's a little less obvious is, does your content look professional? And I cannot tell you how important this one is. And if your content looks professional, it's going to reflect back on you and they're going to perceive you as more professional. So it's like high quality photos and videos, and you may not be into content, and that's okay. But when we get into the next one, you'll see why it is really important. So that's professional, and that's obviously a really important thing if you want to advance your career. So number 3 is digital. Now this is the biggest one ever, and I'm doing it right now, okay? Everyone is doing it all the time nowadays, whether it's a story on Instagram, a post on Instagram, a post on any social media. This is the most important one. And I have a video coming out very soon on content theory. And in fact, we already have a podcast on this on the MetaMinds podcast, and you can go check that out because it's one of the most important theories that I buy into. Whether or not I came up with it, I don't know, okay? But it's been huge for me, and I've realized after doing it and not intentionally doing it, that actually putting things out into the world is marketing, okay? And so I'll just briefly wrap up what content theory is. And that is, if you put out content consistently about the things that you love, then opportunities will fall out of the sky. Trust me. It's happened to me so many times in the last few years. It's not even funny. And then it hit me that I was like, oh my God, this is what's happening, okay? So, whether you're into knitting or filmmaking or wakeboarding, if you're posting a lot of photos of that thing, right, then opportunities are going to arise out of that thing. And so, for example, even if you don't have any particular hobbies, right, but you do want to present yourself in a particular way, it's not only going to help you make the friends that you want to make, high value friends, potentially build some of the relationships that you want to make, life partners and whatnot. And also it's going to help you be perceived in a particular way from a professional standpoint. Now, I get a lot of objections on this one as well, and we cover a lot of those in the Content Theory MetaMinds podcast. But the main one off the bat is that people think they can't produce content. And I would say that that is a limiting belief, because you don't need anything crazy. The camera on this thing is insane, okay? So that would be my first recommendation, is take photos, post them. Oh yes, but I won't get any engagement and people won't know who I am. Yes, I know. I've been in that boat for a very long time, and I've been trying to grow all these different followings and all these different platforms also for a very long time, and I haven't gotten very far, okay, in terms of followers and likes, but they are the wrong metrics. The right metrics are the actual social opportunities that come out of that. I can tell you I've built countless amazing friendships through creating and posting content, through digitally marketing myself. Even though I may not be running particular ads, even though I do that for my business, which is actually marketing, which we won't be covering in this video. I've had countless job opportunities just fall into my lap that I wasn't even looking for because I market myself well online. And I've had countless creative opportunities fall into my lap. Paid ones as well, right? Really well paid ones, okay? Just because I post great content, right? Yes, obviously it's a little different for me because I'm posting video and photo content, and they're the kind of opportunities that I'm getting more often than not. But that's not to say that anything that you're doing, if you're posting content about it, even if it's not necessarily a hobby, it's just you doing life stuff, but you present yourself in a particular way, then you are marketing yourself really well, and you are doing it all the time, and you're probably posting stuff already, right? So it's important that you just curate that content for the outcomes that you actually want. And it's an easy thing to tweak, whether it's the captions or the hashtags or the qualities of the photos or what you're actually doing in the photos or what you don't post as well. So the fourth one, and there's kind of a couple in here, so I'm just gonna bunch them together, is emotional and mental and also friendships, right? So rapid fire round, okay? So emotionally, you are marketing yourself by how you actually engage with people, how you react to different things. And if you haven't realized this already, that will determine a lot of things in your life. Because if you get emotional easily and you react negatively in a particular situation, perhaps a high pressure situation because you haven't trained for that moment, then that could have huge devastating effects across your whole life. But on the flip side, if you react calmly and execute what you need to do in that moment, then that could have huge positive effects for years to come on your life. So this comes back to the basics such as meditation, reading or listening books about mindfulness, and having the right amount of human connection, which obviously has a huge impact on your mental health, and also friendships. So let's say you have some great friendships right now. Let's say you implement some physical and some digital marketing and that helps you get some more high value friends, or your current friends perhaps aren't as high value as you would like. You know, they're not adding a great amount of value to your life. And so that comes down to finding other friends through digital channels or improving your current friendships by marketing yourself in a particular way. Again, we covered this in another episode of MetaMinds, which should be out by now. And the first thing is active listening. Are you really listening and paying attention to people in conversations, or are you just waiting for your turn to talk? Because whenever I'm with a person and I can see that whatever I'm saying is not valued and not actually listened to, and then not followed up by extra questions or built on in that conversation, then I just don't care to be in that conversation at all, or don't care to hang out with that person. Because it's a two-way street. You're gonna have your time of talking and they're gonna have their time of talking. And I know right now it's mostly me talking, but I know you're gonna leave a comment. And then it's like, it is a two-way street, you know? Because then I'll respond to that comment and we have a relationship, okay? You and me, we're good friends, okay? The other thing is, are you doing, favors for that person? Are you going out of your way to compliment them, to, ask them questions about their day, to surprise them with something cool, to take them out for a beer or for dinner every once in a while. These kinds of little things where that person, because if you've been on the other side of it, makes you go, that person's really, really cool. They really recognize me there. They really did that thing for me. They didn't have to, And the thing is, it doesn't have to be huge. Just when you rock up at their house, hey, I bought you a coffee. I know you like this particular type of coffee. And they're like, So to zoom out a little bit, if you market yourself well in your friendships, you'll have stronger connections, which will increase your level of happiness in life overall, and your whole life will be better. And that's the same for everything that I'm saying here. And the reason all of this is so important, guys, is because you have no idea who is watching. And this is why I'm making this video, is because I had no idea who was watching. And I was just making content because I thought it was cool, because it was fun and fulfilling for me, and I just wanted to get creative, right? And I was just putting out content on all these different platforms, and opportunities just fell into my lap one after the other. And it was insane because it netted me a lot of money for my business and got me into fantastic roles, which helped me develop as a person, which got me better friendships. It's just been insane. It's so easy as well to just recognize that everything you are doing is marketing. And if you can attack life with this mindset, you're gonna have so much more self-awareness, right? Because you're aware of what you're doing, how you feel, who you're talking to, how you're talking, how you look professionally, and how you look digitally as well. And you're gonna see opportunities to post things digitally, which potentially can create more opportunities. You just never know who is watching, right? So that is the number one skill that you're always practicing, and it's marketing. And again, I'm sure I could talk for hours on this subject, but I've kept it relatively short, and I hope you've gotten some amazing value out of this. And if you have, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. This small community that I've built and am building, it's really fulfilling to me when I get direct messages from you guys on Instagram, asking me extra questions about some of the topics I'm talking about. So thank you guys for watching, and make sure to subscribe if you want. I'll see you in the next video of Creative Philosophy.